Okay, Graham from Concept Music again, and at this stage I'd like to say congratulations if your child has been chosen to do music, either through the IMS program or one of the private schools. It's a fantastic opportunity which I hope you'll grab with both hands, because not every kid gets the opportunity, not every kid gets to pass the test that they do. And as much as I would love every kid in every school to have an opportunity to play a wind instrument in a band, sadly that's obviously not possible. So congratulations, and I hope you have an enjoyable experience. The best start you can give them, of course, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is to make sure they've got the right tools for the job from the beginning. Make sure they've got a good quality instrument that plays easily, that plays well, and that sounds good. And I've mentioned before my bias towards Yamaha. They are fantastic out of the box. They're a lovely company to deal with. The quality of the instruments is just beautiful. The finish, the sound, they're easy to play, as easy as an instrument is to play in the beginning. And so the best thing you can do, just like you wouldn't give a kid learning to drive, you wouldn't give them a car where the brakes don't work and the steering wheel's loose and the tyres are bald, give them the best opportunity by starting with a good instrument. So hopefully we've covered that ground plenty of times and you've got that message by now. Their best chance of success is by having a good instrument, of course then with a good teacher, and we're so lucky in this state to have so many good teachers and such a good music program. And peers that are doing it, friends that are doing it, that makes a big difference, and of course a connection with the teacher. So all those things combined will get your child off to a really good start and they'll have a very happy experience. What else do you need to know? In the very beginning, I would suggest you just get a few extra little bits and pieces. You've got the instrument, grab them a music stand so they can stand up and play properly, address it, not put the music on the bed or on the dressing table. So get them a music stand, they're only $25, so they can sit up and have good posture and good breathing when they're playing the instrument. The other thing that I would invest in is a tuner and a metronome. They're a little unit that looks like this, they're electronic. A metronome is simply something that helps the kids learn timing, and the tuner will be something very useful as their ear develops to help them see visually whether a note is in tune or not. And you might think on a trumpet or a clarinet, on a saxophone, that if you've got your fingers in the right position, then the right note should come out. But that's not the case. It takes a while for their ear to develop. They can control the pitch of the note quite a lot with their lips and with their diaphragm. So it's important that their ear learns to hear in tune. Instruments like trombone, which I played, you can adjust the slide manually just by pulling it up and down. With trumpets and clarinets, it is a little bit more difficult, and the tuner is a very useful tool, as is the metronome, to help them learn about keeping in time. So that'd be two little things that I would recommend every student should have from the beginning, and the teacher will thank you for it. The biggest question I get asked if I do parent nights, and one of the biggest fears for parents is, but what if they give up? And that's a real fear. And in my early days, I used to try and convince parents that, oh no, your child probably won't give up. Look, I never gave up, I kept playing. But then I had to pull back and realise in the real world that most kids will give up at some point. And my argument there is that it's still a worthwhile experience. It's still a great opportunity. Not all of them will give up. Some will go on to be players, some will go on to be amateurs, some will go on to be professionals. But it's just like basketball. If I ask a parent who thinks your child shouldn't have a game of basketball or football because they might give up one day, they might not become a professional footballer, so what's the point? The argument suddenly falls apart. So with music, it's the same. If they've had a good few years experience, they've learnt a lot of self-discipline, a lot of skills, they've become aware of music, the ripple effects with the family and your friends and your relatives becomes really significant as people become aware of what music is. And also they get the benefit of performing on stage with their friends, in front of the parents, in front of you. There's few moments in your life that you'll remember better than your child's first performance on stage at the school concert. It's a fantastic experience and one you'll never forget, and you'll be thankful that you involved your child in the music program for. So give them the best chance. Yes, they might give up. If they give up, unlike my son's hockey sticks, hockey pads, hockey shoes, hockey balls that you just have to give away or throw away at the end of the year, at least with a musical instrument, you have something of very, very high value that there's high demand for that you can on-sell if they give up, or if they want to upgrade to a better instrument down the track. So yes, there's a possibility, but I'd rather personally deal with the possibility that they might give up than never have the opportunity in the first place. So have fun, enjoy it, give them the best shot, support them, go to their first concert, and I look forward to seeing that experience on your face. Another question we get asked a lot is how much practice should my child do? Now your teacher will cover this and they'll be given a practice book to go home with that you will have to sign every day and monitor their practice. But the best advice I can give, and this is from personal experience as a student but also as a teacher, is try to encourage them to set up a regular routine that they do every day. It doesn't have to be a long time, just start the routine. And far, far better to do 15 or 20 minutes 5 times a week than it is to sit down once a week and try and do for 3 hours. It's not good for your body when you're starting to try and do really long practice sessions. Your lips will get tired, your diaphragm gets tired when you're learning. So a little bit every day would be my first suggestion there for a good practice routine. Of course, make it as enjoyable as possible. I keep harping on about a good, easy to play instrument. That's important as well, because you want your child to learn to play in a very relaxed manner. You don't want them gripping the instrument tightly. It's hard enough to hold an instrument when you're learning because everything feels uncomfortable and weird, but you also want it to be a good instrument so that you're not having to squeeze the keys hard to make it work, to blow extra hard. You want it to be easy to play. Then you won't mind practicing. So make the practice fun, include some exercises of course, but finish with some fun pieces of music. Encourage him to do it on a regular basis at the same time, whether that's before school or after school, and don't push it too much. Don't tell them they've got to do hours a day. 15 or 20 minutes would be fantastic. If they can do that 5 times a week, they'll get into the routine very quickly and they'll progress really, really well. Okay, thanks once again for watching, and just remember, if you have any questions, I've been doing this for over 40 years. I was a product of the school music system myself, learning trombone at Perth Modern School. There's no questions I haven't heard before, there's no silly questions, and we are here to help you, help your child have a fantastic musical experience. I'm passionate about the opportunities for kids to play in bands. I've personally benefited from it and I would love every kid to have the opportunity. So yes, I'm biased, but I'm biased from the perspective of a person who's been through the system, was lucky enough to play professionally, and I just love helping getting kids involved in music and playing in bands and seeing their eyes light up and be part of that journey. So happy to help you on that journey. Any questions, please, we've got lots of resources. You can click on the tab below. It'll help you with choosing your second-hand instrument, buying a new instrument, practice tips, but please enjoy the journey, and anything we can do to help, please call us.